Good morning, everyone. We started a couple of minutes ago. You just didn't know it. So we're going to start off with me being bad cop and telling you guys a whole bunch of rules, and then we'll actually get into greetings and that sort of thing. So keep up. This is going to be very, very quick. So first of all, we thank you very much for your cooperation in wearing your mask at all times, unless you're drinking, in which case you probably need to take it off. Otherwise, it's going to get messy. So eating and drinking, we will let you pull your mask down. Otherwise, fully over your nose, everything. If you don't have a mask, there's people out front that will gladly provide you with a mask. If you drop it somewhere along the way, please get another mask. If you are not parked in the U lot, you should leave now and go there. And if you did not provide us your license plate, I'm happy to say that I've rented a tow truck and I will be towing them to a undisclosed place and making a lot of money off of this. So please have provided us with your license plate so that we make sure that we don't tow you, or I don't tow you. All right. Hashtag MBAgConf 2022. If you didn't catch all that, it's on the top of everything or the bottom of every slide, depends. Tweet as much as you can. Peter Johnson is ready for any battle, so I started it. The rest of you should follow. Thanks for walking in just then. Thank you to the U of M audio-visual team, so Chris, Luke, Ted, Dan, we love y'all. There's supposed to be about 290 viewers online. If you guys have any questions, there is a process using the chat box for questions. And then we have hopefully about 150 people coming in here, although the snow probably is slowing that down a little bit. Conference program and presentation PDFs are available on the website. The proceedings are there to print off if you want and take notes, all that sort of thing. In your name tag, there should be 2 complimentary drink tickets. If there aren't, it's because I've taken them already. Sorry. If you lose them, too bad. If you don't want them, please give them back to us. And if you, if you do plan on indulging with us, please be safe when you drive after. Okay, questions in person. We will have mics. You need to talk into the mic so that the online people can actually hear what you're asking and so that we all can hear. If you're online, you're going to use the chat box for your general discussion and for your, oh my gosh, I can't understand technically what's going on here and need it fixed. If you have a question, it goes in the Q&A and that'll be posed to the presenters. I'll be monitoring that. If I ignore your question, it's not because I think you're stupid, it's because I didn't read fast enough. But other people could upvote your question so that we could get it asked first. There are CCA and CCSC credits available, sign-in sheets, online, QR codes, blah, 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 blah. It's all there. Good. Evaluation form, fill one out afterwards, and maybe you can win a free registration for MAC 2023. We need evaluations in by December 3rd, 2022. Poster sessions. At the beginning of the coffee break, we will hear a short pitch from the poster presenters. If you are Timmy Ojo, Jacob Colodi, Laura Schmidt, or James Fry, you will be down here at the beginning of the coffee break. You will have 30 seconds, after which I will beat you, and then we will move on to the next poster pitch. All right. As well, those PDFs are online. If you click on the PDF, actual word, then you will get the poster. If you click on the title, you will get the abstract. 2 options there. Don't get frustrated. We'll go over that a couple more times because I do it wrong every time. Also, there's some little cards in the poster room and elsewhere. One is for Martin Anson, an organic agronomy session, series of sessions that Martin Ants is doing, and then John Hurd and some of his cohorts, whoever they are. Marla. I will be doing a soils refresher sometime, and then there's also CCA review sessions and all sorts of random posters up, so take a look around. Stay aware. Okay. Your turn.
Is anyone else terrified of Tammy yet? Because I am. I've been working with her for months prepping this, and yeah. Okay, so to start off our day, other than the lovely housekeeping items that Tammy just went through, we have 2 guests, as usual. Well, we have a new guest joining us this year. 2 guests to welcome us and start off MAC. We have Dean Martin Scanlon from the Faculty of Agriculture and Food Sciences, and we also have Sue Clayton. And Sue, if you have not not already heard, is the new director for the School of Ag. So come on up and take it away to provide our start to the day.
Thanks, Mala. So welcome everyone to the Manitoba Agronomist Conference with this year's theme, Dialing Down the Heat, Agronomic Solutions to Climate Change. And I've got to acknowledge it's really great to see everyone in person. So the last time I think I was in front of this group was in 2019. So welcome to everyone here to the University of Manitoba and also to everyone online. And so recognizing the important relationships between land, plant, animals, and people that drive innovation in agronomic sciences, and the fact that these same relationships are central to Indigenous identity and ways of knowing, I'd like to make the land acknowledgement on behalf of the faculty in the University of Manitoba. So the University of Manitoba campuses are located on the original lands of the Anishinaabe, the Cree, the Oji-Cree, the Dakota, and the Dene people, and also on the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect the treaties that were made on these territories, we acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we dedicate ourselves to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. I'd like to, as the Dean of the Faculty of Agricultural and Food Sciences, really thank Manitoba Agronomist Conference for the generous donations that you've made this past year to the faculty. In particular, we'd like to thank you for the donations from MAC for the Carman Equipment Facility, which we're going to name after two long-standing supporters of the MAC conference, Alvin Iverson and Dr. Don Flayton. So thank you, MAC, for that generous donation of $20,000. So the construction on this site is going to start in the new year, and it's going to provide protection for some of our existing equipment, but also some new equipment that's coming in through the generous sponsorship of the Western Grains Research Foundation. We're also grateful to MAC for funds of $10,000 for the biosanitation pad project and $5,000 to the Carman General Maintenance Fund. So again, thank you very much, MAC. I'd also like to add that fundraising is nearing completion. We're really on the last lap for the construction of the new Prairie Crops and Soils Research Facility that's going to be located here on the campus at the Point. And this is really consolidating some older facilities that we have in both the Department of Soil Science and also in the Department of Plant Science. And this is going to provide a really strong base for agronomic innovation, but really also it's going to be great for training our new students and highly qualified personnel who are going to be the leaders of agronomic sciences in the province of Manitoba in years to come. So we're really pleased about being on the last lap on this. Also, I'd like to point out, and it should be coming up on the website fairly soon, that the faculty has now devised a new strategic research plan from 2022 going through to 2027, and that has many points of bringing in expertise from this faculty to address climate adaptation and climate mitigation strategies. So, for instance, the development of new crop cultivars, development of resilient cropping systems, some of the activities associated with greenhouse gas mitigation through 4R practices, but also through support that we've received from Prairies Canada, the use of digital agriculture tools and technologies to actually implement smart agriculture solutions. And so, by way of closing, I would like to recognize the important partnerships, extension, and networking that the Manitoba Agronomist Conference represents. And really, the faculty and the University of Manitoba are really pleased to be part of it. So with that, I wish you all the best for a very enjoyable and successful conference.
Welcome, and as Martin said, it's so great to see everyone here today in person. It's my pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of the School of Agriculture team. And it's great personally to be back here at the U of M. I'm a graduate of the Ag Business Program many years ago, and I worked initially for Pfizer and UAP in crop protection in Saskatchewan, and many of you wouldn't even know that Pfizer was ever in the crop protection business, so I might be dating myself a little bit. After that, I worked in Europe for a number of years with a division of ConAgra, and I was a school trustee in Pembina Trail School Division back in Winnipeg for 16 years, and that was around the same time that I came to work for the first time for the faculty in student recruitment and marketing from 2008 to 2015. I only left to become the executive director of agriculture in the classroom Manitoba, which was an amazing opportunity, and I loved the organization. But when Martin called and asked me if I would consider this position, I jumped at it. It just feels like coming home. And 2 months ago, I returned here to become the new director of the school. I know I speak for all of us when I say that it's wonderful to be back to in-person learning and to what we know. Our instructors in the school did a fabulous job and really rose to the occasion with virtual learning. But, you know, when we're an applied, hands-on program, it's a little more difficult to do our type of program online. And so much of the experience for the students is what you're experiencing here today, right? It's networking and building relationships, and the ones that took the program during COVID really missed out on that. So I'm glad that we're back together. And as many of you know, all of our instructors in our program are either currently active farmers or else they were farmers and have retired. And that really brings a unique perspective to the classroom. And there's a couple of things I want to tell you about that I thought you might be interested in. This past summer, we had 2 really successful experiential learning classes that I thought might interest you. One was our summer soybean agronomy course taught by Kristen McMillan and supported by Manitoba Pulse and soybean growers in the faculty. And during this course, the students scouted soybean fields throughout the growing season. And this year, they discovered a soybean cyst nematode-infected field. So there's research and action for the students in the program. The other course was a summer agri-tech course taught by one of our instructors, Easton Sellers. And the students get to try out different technological tools on their farm. And then they come back and tell the first year class all about that experience. And so the tech that we used this past summer included Climate Field View, My John Deere through Enns Brothers, Farmer's Edge, and Meadows Pestle. And so it's not possible to educate the students on all this cutting edge technology in ag without these fantastic partnerships. And speaking of partnerships, as Martin said, I'd like to take that opportunity to thank MAC for their foundational donation of $5,000 towards the School of Agriculture Endowment Fund, which was launched just this past fall in celebration of the retired director of the school, Michelle Rogalski, who just left her position here in June. This new fund will provide a critical pool of financial support aimed at worthy projects and programs that are consistent with the academic goals of the school, and that could include projects that focus on experiential learning or agriculture technology, projects to increase Indigenous content and perspectives, student recruitment and retention projects, and even leadership opportunities. So just in closing, I want to thank the committee so much for the opportunity to introduce myself and say a few words about what's happening in the school. I look forward to connecting with friends here. It was nice being here a little bit early and seeing people as they came in. And making new acquaintances today and tomorrow. Please reach out if you have any questions or comments. Vanessa and George from the School of Ag have been working really hard with your committee to make sure this in-person and virtual conference is a success, and I'm sure it will be. So best wishes for a terrific 2 days, and all the best for a really lovely holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue and Martin. We appreciate you guys being here and kind of opening things up for us a little bit. Excuse us while we get dressed for the occasion. Thanks to John Hurd for providing our outfits for the day.
Just to note, John said that he only cares about N. He doesn't care about C.
Okay. I don't know if you can see this, but I have a lovely C on my shirt, and I still care about carbon. Thank you very much.
It's all about N.
No, we're gonna skip past that nitrogen thing real fast here. Okay, so we wanted to set the stage before we get to our plenary speakers, just to give a bit of background as to why we are here and why we're talking about turning down the heat, dialing down the heat, and agronomic solutions to climate change. Wait, I forgot you were doing that.
Yeah, this is the part that I can still understand, so I get to do this part. So Manitoba has a relatively minor role. We contribute about 3% to Canada's total emissions. So we know Alberta is a bigger emitter, and we know that Saskatchewan is up there as well. Seems to be increasing a little bit with some of the resource extraction that's happening there. Apparently all our resources are gone. I don't know. And then to the east, Ontario and Quebec, well, they just have more industry and a denser population. No, a higher population, not a denser population.
Ooh, all right, them's fighting words. Okay, so I'm not from there. It's fine. John is, though, so. Oh my goodness. All right, so we have a smaller, obviously a much smaller contribution overall in Manitoba, but we are still here to talk about solutions in terms of managing that, the emissions that we do have. Even though it's a small piece of the pie, we still need to talk about it. And we have, when we think about kind of Manitoba in general, because we have less industry and all of that, agriculture actually makes a pretty large portion of the overall emissions that we have. So if we break that down a little bit further, we can see that those things are coming from enteric fermentation.
Cow burps. Cow burps.
Yeah, she's the cattle lady over here, so she's going to talk all day about cow burps. They're horrible, right? Manure management and some other minor sources, but 47%, so almost half of that, is coming from soils. And this is the reason why we're here today to talk about this idea of how we manage this, what we can do kind of as our part in the agricultural community and as agronomists to be able to support growers as they are trying to figure out kind of how to deal with the situation and the expectations that are kind of put on them towards decreasing nitrogen emissions. So yeah, the proportion of our emissions has changed a little bit in terms of what we're seeing. And if you follow the red line on screen, the red line is actually showing the cow burps.
Right, enteric fermentation.
Yeah, she wants to say enteric fermentation just once. So that is dropping, and a lot could say that that might be because of things like, decreasing in cattle population in the province. But in that brown line, this is at soils, those numbers are going up, and those are the ones that we're, again, here to talk about today. They're going up likely because of higher nitrogen use with some of our higher yielding crops, things like wheat, corn, canola. And in terms of kind of the Canadian perspective, and we're going to be here to talk about Canadian perspective.
This is the nitrogen.
Oh, you want to talk nitrogen?
No. I just want to say this.
This is her. She is all about the N, which of course is all that John cares about. And so, yeah, I know where we stand, John Hurd. We emit less than the east, but obviously more than the more drier west. And in terms of why this is and what we can talk about for solutions, this is, of course, what we brought our speakers here for today. And because we cannot forget about the carbon, me. We can't forget about the carbon. We need to still, focus a little bit on that. And don't worry, we've got people here to talk about carbon, so it's not just about nitrogen today. So that is kind of it for us.